Hello, and welcome to the Junior Takeover episode of NCTV. I'm Elijah Cleese.
And I'm Jillian Wallace. To begin this episode, we take you inside the NC Auditorium. It has many secret wonders, one being the fly system, which plays a pretty important role to all productions. Trenton Cochran brings you a story on just that.
The NC Auditorium has many secret wonders, one being the fly system. Check this out. It's harder than it looks.
A fly system is a series of pulleys and ropes designed to move pieces of scenery or curtains in and out of the fly space or stage. Our fly system is what they call a counterweight fly system. That means for every pound of weight you have over the stage, you counter it with a pound of weight off stage. So then you use that weight to help fly things in and out. So you can take a 1,300 pound object that's on stage, you counterweight it on the other side, and one person can move that weight in and out. The fly system in this space is probably one of the most important systems we have in place. Without it, we could not move our curtains around, bring them in or out. We could not adjust lights. If the fly system in this space were to break, nobody would be allowed in this space to use it probably for months until it got fixed. It is one of the most dangerous pieces of equipment we have in this space. Most high schools don't get fly systems anymore because they are that dangerous. They don't get the fly systems because they don't have a trained technician to help maintain them and to make sure they are used safely and properly.
There's a lot that goes into the backstage of NC performances. Next year, we will dive more into the aspects of how much work it takes to put on a show and all the elements of theater. Stay tuned.
The next story we share really comes close to home. NCTV's Madeline, myself, and Canyon Hawkinson interviewed Mr. Thompson, Mrs. King, and Mr. Mothersbaugh, who are all retiring this year. We here at the studio could not feel more blessed to have them as our instructors. Thank you for your years of teaching.
Oh, I had planned on it for some time to retire at 65. I'm 66 this year, and that's why I'm retiring. I mean, I've worked hard most of my life, and I'm just ready for a change.
I'm leaning to pursue my lifelong dream of opening my own small restaurant.
They asked me to take this position, and originally I was going to stay 2 years, but they offered us these incentives, and so I decided to take the incentive and retire since I'm 64, and you can retire when you're 60. But I've enjoyed my time. The first stint was terrific. We built a great program. We divided into 2 orchestras, and I formed some really good relationships with kids and did a lot of traveling with the orchestra back then. Times were better in terms of money. And this time around I've followed someone who is drastically different from me, so it's been very hard to win the kids over to my style of orchestra teaching.
Well, my experience here at NC's been good. There's a lot of variety in my job, and stay very busy. Great bunch of people to work with, and I've enjoyed every minute of it.
My favorite thing about working at NC has absolutely 100% been my students.
Working with G and Mr. Weiss, and then to a lesser extent the rest of the Fine Arts Department. But I think having worked with Grusendorf before and also Mr. Weiss before, and actually I go back far enough that Mr. Weiss was a student of mine. So working with him now as a peer is really fun.
Oh, my favorite moment. I guess it would be several moments. I'm a kind of a sports nut, and I've enjoyed all of the success of all of the sports teams and stuff. And I guess that'd be my favorite moments. The advice that I would give somebody coming in here is be ready to give it your all. You know, there's pretty high expectations here, and they're kind of hard to meet sometimes, and it takes a dedicated individual to do the job.
Just be kind. Never judge. Don't look at a kid for anything but who they are and what they're saying to you. Never, ever try to judge a book by its cover, because you'll always be wrong.
I think the biggest thing is to stay flexible, because it's a huge school with a lot of activities for the students and a lot of activities for the staff as well. Everybody's got their pet projects and their subject areas which they really want to extend to the max. And sometimes, if we're not careful, we get into each other's way, and you have to remember that kids are being pulled in several different ways, and make sure that you allow for that, both in your own program and in the students' lives.
I loved my time here at NC. I think our students are amazing.
I've enjoyed my time here at NC. I've enjoyed the students and staff and everyone involved, and it's been a lot of fun.
I almost wish I wasn't retiring.
What a remarkable legacy all teachers here at NC leave behind. Once a Mustang, always a Mustang. You will always be a part of the family, and you will be dearly missed.
Recently, the NCHS Diversity Club had decided to hold a gay pride celebration party. They embrace all people, regardless of sexual orientation, race, and creed. The administration asked for some changes regarding the party. Here is Principal Dresing on why.
Are we going?
So we recently met with the Diversity Club to talk about their upcoming party and celebration in the foyer. This year has been wrought with multiple political instances that have involved everything from race to religion to nationality and creed. And so NC administration really wants to give students the best chance they can to have fun and experience high school and not become targets for adult agendas, which is what we really see with social media. Kids, for the most part, are kids, and they make mistakes, or they think something's cool when it's not. Adults get those things and then totally take them to the nth degree, and administration sees that time and time again. So again, we met with Diversity Club in order to, in many ways, protect them from the fallout of what could happen if things hit social media. And we've asked Diversity Club, as we are going to ask all clubs, not to celebrate specific instances of groups within the club, but just club stuff itself. So with Diversity Club, we want diversity for all students. We want it to be welcoming for everybody. They have gone out of their way to celebrate Black History Month, to celebrate Women's History, and now we're in June, which my understanding is Gay Pride Month. And so we understand where they're coming from, and they want to celebrate that, but we also want to make sure that everybody understands that they celebrate something unique every month, and it's not just something they picked out of the blue. Ask them to move their party so that they're in an environment that's much more friendly and that they have control over, instead of in the main courtyard where anybody can ruin that good time that they're trying to have. So last I checked, they were still having it the same day, same time. We're also taking, and when I say we, I mean NC administration is also taking a good look at how all clubs operate when they make posters, and we're trying to make that much more structured, and that all posters that go up have been approved by NC administration.
The NCHS administration and Diversity Club compromised. So behind me you can see them holding their end of the year celebration.
Oh yeah. Thank you, Tanner and Phoenix, for getting an inside look on Diversity Club.
Community service is a big part of NCHS Junior ROTC. So is all of the teams that work hard to be the best they can be in whatever team they take part in. NCTV's Ray, Miriam, and Evan bring you that story.
In ROTC, I'm on a couple teams, like Raider team, drill team, and then we have the actual class, ROTC, and that's for the majority of what I do. This year I'm on drill team, I'm on raider team, and that's about it. Drill team, I'm on color guard, and occasionally armed and unarmed, but for the most part I'm only on color guard.
So, rifle team is basically we shoot air rifles for competition around the state and some in Colorado. We have about 10, 11, 12 people on the team. I enjoy it quite a bit. It goes from after school to about 5:30 normally, and it's really fun. I'm a freshman. This is my first year in ROTC, and ROTC I think is a really good program. It teaches a lot of things. During the year we do marksmanship, which we're doing right now. We do that near the end of the year. Our two teams are Sporter and Precision. Precision is a different rifle. It's a different class, so it's for the better shooters. You have to wear this big old gnarly suit. It's not bad really, but Sporter is just civilian clothing, so that's really the difference in a different rifle. We do land navigation. We do marksmanship, which we're doing right now. We do, beginning of the year, we kind of start off with the basics of ROTC. We do military values, and that's really it. Leadership, too. During the year, we do multiple community service events. We do color guards around Casper for different events. We do Platte River Revival, which you probably heard of it. We go down to the Platte and clean up a bunch of Russian Hall, which we did this year. We do tailgates for football games here. Just try to make a little money there, feed some people, make them happy.
The NCHS Junior ROTC is the third oldest program in the country. This is its 166th year.
Natronapalooza is a student talent show put on every year by Student Council. All the proceeds go to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. NCTV's Gabe, Tanner, Zach, and myself have a story on that.
The end of the school year is over, which means Natronapalooza is in full swing. The students are bringing their best performances to this very stage. Tune in to watch these amazing performances.
Towards the end of every year, Student Council hosts a talent show called Natronapalooza. All of the proceeds go to Make-A-Wish Foundation, which is a charity that helps kids with terminal illnesses. We have a lot of talent at NC. Here are some highlights.
We just kind of came out and have fun. Like all these people are like having fun, and that's what it's really about, I think. So just having fun. That's it.
It was the first song that came to my mind, and it was one of the only ones that I knew by heart that I was like, I'm not going to forget this one on stage. But it's also a song that got me through a really, really tough part of my life. So it allowed me to kind of get into it more as I was performing it.
That looked like a lot of fun. What great performances. Good job to all the performers.
The Wyoming roads in the winter are some of the most dangerous in the country. NCTV is Gavin and Mike bringing you a story on those roads, how to be safe, and general good driver conduct.
This is a story about how teens should drive safer during the summertime due to the excess amount of construction.
As we move into summer, we're getting into construction season. Construction's already started this year around Casper and around Wyoming. People need to pay attention to the signs, reduce speeds, the traffic cones, the flaggers, people like that, the workers that are out there. Just kind of anytime you come upon a construction zone, keep an eye out for anybody that's working out there. Keep an eye out for the directions that they're giving you. You know, we just had construction on Wyoming Boulevard. We move traffic control around a lot, so those conditions can change. Just pay extra attention when you're in a construction zone and obey the signs, obey the flaggers, and watch out for the workers. There's an increased amount of different vehicles out there. A lot of bicyclists, a lot of motorcycles, a lot of construction people out there. And just, you know, give people pay a little extra attention. We got a lot of people out here from different states come out here to visit Wyoming, And so, you know, not everybody drives the same, not everybody's used to the same rules. So I tell people just to kind of, you know, have a little more patience when you're out on the roads this summer and watch out for people. We also have a new move over law that's coming into effect soon in Wyoming that forces people to move over when people are on the road, like YDOT workers, like emergency personnel, law enforcement. But really, it should pertain to anybody. If you see a bicyclist on the shoulder, if you see somebody pulled over with a flat tire, slow down and pass them when it's safe to pass, or move over to the other lane. So that's something that's coming up. Now you can get a ticket if you don't do that. So, but we shouldn't really have to have a law for that. People should just kind of, you know, watch out for people anyhow. We tend to get aggressive driving, a lot more than maybe we used to, and you know, nobody wants to die when they're either out there working or just happen to have a flat tire or a car breakdown. So pay attention for people. Overall, keep your car in good shape. Check your tire pressure, make sure your coolant level's good, make sure you've changed your oil. We get into the hotter days of the summer, I always tell people to make sure you have water in your car, make sure your cell phone batteries are charged. You know, just kind of take those precautions just in case your car does happen to break down. Have your spare tire. You know, people forget to check their spare tire to make sure that there's air in it. Things like that, just to make sure your car is in good shape before you go out on the road. The number one thing to do before you go out, though, is put your seatbelt on. So, you know, we've had 38 people die already this year in Wyoming, and a lot of them didn't have seatbelts on. In fact, just over the weekend, we had a man down by Yoder, which is down by Torrington, southeast part of our district anyhow, that had a rollover and he was ejected. So he didn't have a seatbelt on. So that's one of the most important things I can tell people, is to put your seatbelt on and, you know, pay attention to what you're doing. Put the phone down, put the coffee down, put the water down while you're driving. Just don't be distracted. And, you know, it's always, just pay attention to everything that's around you at all times.
Well, that seems like a good lesson to all of us to drive safer through construction zones. This is Mike Burke with NCTV, signing off.
Driving can be very dangerous if you aren't focused on the task at hand. I will be sure to use them the next time I get behind the wheel.
Our final story is the senior send-off. Going through 4 years at NC, you build a bond with your peers. It is very bittersweet when you finally go out to the world and pursue your life. Graduation this year was one to remember. Thank you, Tanner and Zach, for capturing these memories. As we close, we are sending off Miss Morgan Anetti and Hunter Bullard. We're going to miss you greatly here at the studio and hope to see you. You have left an imprint on our show, and as you pass the torch, we will not let you down. Thank you for watching our program this afternoon.
We wish you all a great summer. Goodbye.